Hello, everybody. You've tuned into the Indiana State Police Roadshow. The Roadshow is brought to you each and every week by the Indiana State Police Alliance. Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. We want to thank them for their continued support. Thank Tom Trial, our behind-the-camera guy, who puts us on YouTube each and every week. So make sure you go to the Indiana State Police website and click on the YouTube insignia that we can take you right to the Indiana State Police YouTube site for all these shows that Tom puts on there. And we have a wonderful guest with us today, Susan Rensler, Trooper, Indiana State Police Extraordinaire.
Wow, I like that title.
You like that?
Yeah. I don't think it'll fit on my business card, though. Vistaprint might charge me extra.
You don't think it'll go across your nameplate there?
No, well, I could.
Well, welcome, Susan.
Thank you.
This is a guest that we've had before in the past, and talking about a very, very special thing that the department is involved with is Special Olympics. And Susan is very involved with Special Olympics and does a great job with that organization and represents them well and has been all over the world, literally, with Special Olympics.
Yes, literally.
Literally out. I don't know if we've talked to you since we went to Los Angeles.
No, haven't.
Los Angeles held the World Games, correct?
We had the World Games, Special Olympics World Games, that was held in Los Angeles. And the World Games has not been back in this country for years, like over 15, 20 years.
Really? So when was this? What time frame?
This was end of July.
Okay. Nice and cool.
Yeah, nice and cool out in California.
In Los Angeles in July. So what happens in the World Games with the Special Olympics?
The World Games is very similar to the regular Olympic Games. You have athletes come from all over the world on a major stage and compete in athletic competitions. But specifically what we did is there's a part of Special Olympics. This is one of the largest grassroots fundraiser for them, which is called the Law Enforcement Torch Run, or LETR. You might see that heading. And what we do is, as law enforcement officers, we do just about anything to help raise money, from diving in cold, chilly waters to rappelling off buildings,
exactly,
to waiting tables, and we do just about anything. But we have multiple torch runs where we actually run and raise money. So multiple groups, but they have a section called the Final Leg Team for the torch run. So basically what we do is we're selected from our state liaisons or all over the world as law enforcement officers, and we get together and we basically ran all over the state of California to bring awareness to Special Olympics and let everybody know what we're doing. Originally, the flame was brought in from Athens, Greece. It was flown in.
Wow.
Very neat.
Yeah.
And flown in, landed on the East Coast, and then by the Unified Relay team, actually multiple individuals from all over each state ran it from the East Coast to the West Coast, and that's where we picked it up, which was pretty neat.
Yeah, that is wonderful. So you were out in L.A. and actually ran with the flame.
Yeah, we ran with the torch. Our group probably did collectively over 60 miles. Which was pretty tough. We were in rain. Imagine that for California, out in the desert of the heat. It was pretty neat. We got to see collectively over 120 cities.
Wow.
We did about 5 to 6 cities a day. So it's pretty grueling.
Yeah.
I got to see a lot from the bus. But the coolest thing was probably being able to run with our 10 athletes from all over the world.
So this lights a flame just like at the Olympics. You light the flame at the starting of the games.
At the starting of the games.
And then you have the games. How long were the games?
The games were 2 weeks.
Wow.
We basically went out there 2 weeks prior to the games and ran all over the state. And then we actually had an amazing opening ceremonies that ESPN covered it. If you didn't catch it, it was amazing. I was with over 120 other law enforcement officers from all over the world. We were in our dress uniforms, and we lined the Coliseum, and we brought the flame in, and an athlete actually brought it in on red carpet, and then we lit the cauldron. So that's our job, is we're called the Guardians of the Flame. So we make sure the integrity of the flame stays lit the entire time. So
very moving, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness, I have probably never done anything so. I probably never had chills so bad in my entire life. Is standing at attention on the red carpet and the base of the Coliseum. I've probably never been so proud to be in law enforcement as I did that day. So,
well, that's wonderful. I'm glad that our department State Police was well represented. Any from others from Indiana that you saw out there? Or?
No, I was actually the only one. I was represented to represent the state as law enforcement. So I was the only law enforcement officer from Indiana. And so we pretty much represented all 48. Well, we represented 48 states and many other countries around the world. But I was it for Indiana. I was our shining star. So.
That's great. That's wonderful that we're able to do that, and we're involved. I know you've been involved so much with Special Olympics. That's a great tribute to what we do and how we represent the Indiana and the Special Olympics. So did you find that the athletes were happy to have us there? That I'm sure they were abound with what we law enforcement done for them out there.
Oh yeah, definitely not just for fundraising, but you would be amazed at just the athletes from when we got them on day one, how much they've changed. I mean, we all did speeches and speaking engagements, including the athletes, every day, and some went from barely being able to keep composure and read to throwing the piece of paper out and doing it from the heart.
Yeah.
So we changed right along with them. So it was an amazing movement, not just to bring funds and awareness, but we're actually changing lives. And I think it probably does us more good as law enforcement than it does the athletes. I mean, we get so much out of this that it's incredible.
Well, then you went from L.A. to the Bahamas.
Yeah, went to the Bahamas.
What was the Bahamas?
Bahamas was actually the Law Enforcement Torch Run conference.
Okay.
There we were actually on Paradise Island, and a nice hurricane decided to accompany us.
So it was non-Paradise Island for a while?
It was non-Paradise for a little while. It was a little scary. But there were able to talk to, everybody around the world. I got to see some of my Final Ag teammates, which was amazing because I didn't think I'd ever get to see some of them ever again unless I went to Australia or,
Yeah.
But we had amazing speakers. There's also small classes so we can learn how to fundraise and just get so many more tools and training so we can keep going with this this movement.
The breakout events and that tell you what to do, and then probably just networking with the other agencies.
Oh, networking is huge, finding out what other agencies are doing, other fundraisers, what works, what doesn't work, but also just the training and learning how to be involved. And
are the athletes involved with this, or is this just the officers coming to this conference?
There are some athletes that come, but this is pretty much just for us law enforcement officers.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a great thing, except for the hurricane.
The hurricane was a little. I'd never been in a hurricane. I've been in a tornado here.
So you've got that marked off your bucket list. Tornado, hurricane.
Well, earthquake's probably next, but I don't think I want to be around for that.
I'm not traveling with you.
Okay, no.
So recently, though, more recent that we've had is the Tippecop here in Indiana.
Yeah,
Just had that, and you had a location in north side of Indianapolis.
Yes.
I know we had another location
in Noblesville.
Mm-hmm. Plainfield, that the Indiana State Police, and some others around the state. And I think there was about 10 around the state. But how did your event come out?
Very well, actually. We had just a few of us law enforcement officers around. We were there all day at the Red Robin on Michigan Road, just north of 96th Street. They're very welcoming, amazing crew. There all day, and we raised just over $1,800.
That's wonderful.
Which is amazing, and that people are very generous and open up their wallets to us.
Well, explain what the Tippecop entails and what happens with that.
Red Robin, this was actually a nationwide opening for Red Robin. Either Thursday or Saturday, they open the doors to us law enforcement officers, and we kind of take over. A lot, we'll usually bus tables and bring drinks, but it's a great time for us to meet and greet. We'll just go up to the restaurant patrons and say hi, and on a friendly, not through their car window. It's amazing when you get smiles. You're not used to it. We get to interact with children,
right?
But just it's being out in the community for a positive way, but then also making a difference.
And I know a lot of the athletes themselves come and assist you guys with this and show up there at the restaurant and give their appreciation to law enforcement, but also help you guys with the waitering themselves.
Oh, yeah, they're a big help, and the athletes love it.
Yeah.
Just to interact with people and us as law enforcement, but they'll help us talk to people, hold doors, give out stickers, and they're a big help. But I love it when the athletes come. That just makes the whole day.
And all that money goes back to Indiana Special Olympics.
It's all Special Olympics Indiana, yes.
$1,800. I know from your store, and you were telling me we've got a number of around $9,000.
Yeah, it should be about $9,000 that we collect. The numbers are still coming in because it's still fresh, and we're collecting the money from the weekend. But yeah, we're hoping pretty much $9,000, which would be great.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Well, again, you're listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. I'm with Trooper Susan Rentschler, who is Indianapolis State Police Post and a big follower, and is involved with Special Olympics very much, and has done a lot of work with Special Olympics here in Indianapolis and now worldwide. And she is talking about some things that she's been involved with, World Games in Los Angeles and the conference in the Bahamas. But you've got something else that's coming up here shortly that you're going to try and get the word out on so we can get some people involved in this.
Yeah, we have the second annual Strikes for Special Olympics bowling tournament. Last year, it did an amazing amount of money of $18,000.
Wow.
And we're trying to blow those numbers out of the water.
That was a one-day event.
That was a one-day event.
Okay.
But this is really neat. It's on Saturday, November 21st at Woodland Bowl. And basically, you just need teams of 4, which you can sign up if you go to the Indiana Special Olympics website.
Okay.
You can register right there online. But it's neat. You just come out. It's a fun time. There's food, beverages, and we'll have silent auctions, so you can purchase some things, and it's just a great time. There'll be athletes there, a lot of competition between law enforcement agencies and other public safety, which is fun. You get other corrections teams, you get fire departments and things like that, and
ambulance service.
It's just a good time. You don't have to pull a plane, or you don't have to jump in frigid cold waters or anything. And everybody loves bowling, but we'll have a lot of athletes there also.
Well, anybody can bowl. Even if you can't bowl, you can bowl.
And as far as the event themselves, that is one of the sporting events that Special Olympics does. And so we have a lot of athletes that really love to bowl. And
are really good.
And they're really good.
Probably put us to shame.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Did you bowl last year?
No, didn't bowl last year.
You didn't bowl last year? I didn't know if you were. I know you're not going to be able to this year because you're actual chairman of the event.
I'll be behind the scenes helping with registration and the silent auction, but I'll be watching everybody else bowl.
So do you have any idea how many teams were there last year?
We had a ton of teams. I think we had over 40 teams last year.
Good.
So
we're trying to up the number on that.
We're going to try to up the numbers. But yeah, if you want to come out, it's a great time. Just get online and register.
And it's teams of 4. And you're asked to donate $200.
Yes,
for
the teams.
$200 of teams for 4, so it's $50 per person to bowl.
Correct.
And that's for everything. You just come in, and the shoes are provided, and the balls are provided.
Yep.
And you come in and have time. Do you know what time this is, or do we?
I'll have to look on the website, but it's fairly early.
Yeah, and then
I think it's an early afternoon.
And that's Saturday the 21st at the Woodland Bowl Center in 96th Street in Indianapolis. And so we need to get the teams involved and get them started on raising money so we can have that event for Special Olympics. I'm sure the polar plunge is coming up too.
Polar plunge is coming up. We'll have multiple locations for that. And if you want, Rich, you could be a super plunger if you plunge all 3.
Really?
If you plunge 3 locations, you become a super plunger. So that that's another thing to put on your business card there.
That's something else to put on your resume. I've been looking for that super plunger event so I can do that and put it on the resume. Have you done that? Have you done the polar plunge?
I have a long time ago. I haven't actually done it with Indiana Special Olympics.
So this year will be the first?
Probably. I don't know. Last year, I'm just naturally cold, so But our dive team will be out there, and so I have all the confidence in the world.
The dive team always does it because they are fools anyways for getting in water that are cold, so they know what they're doing, and a lot of times they help out on the event, don't they?
Yes. But my goal is I really want to do a Chiefs challenge.
Now, what's that?
Basically where I challenge the superintendent and the chiefs of all the local departments to see if they'll come out and do it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we'll see. I haven't talked to the superintendent yet.
I was going to say, so now it's out there and you haven't actually talked to him, but you're calling him out.
Yeah.
And so it was nice working for the state police, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
But that'll be great. That'll be good to have him involved with that.
No, superintendent, I can't really thank him enough.
He's so behind this
for his support and Special Olympics and allowing me to do this. I've been able to represent my department, but just so much more than just police work. I mean,
yes.
For me to be able to do this and combine it with state police, I can't thank him enough for his support.
Well, I know Superintendent Carter just embraced this with both arms, open arms, when this became available, and it's continued through his administration. It's Great. Well, Susan, we're out of time. I appreciate you being in here again.
Thanks for having me.
Talking about Special Olympics. Make sure we get team up for the bowling tournament coming up here November 21st at Woodland Bowl, 96th Street. Again, you've been listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Lines. Cops for Kids, we thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you again next week, same channel. The Roadshow is out.